Imagine this, after months of saving, you wish on the banner of the character you've always wanted. As you hit 90 pity, you see you lost the 50-50 to Qiqi. This is not some fake scenario. This is a reality for many of us. Well, I'm here to show you that all you need to beat this game is Qiqi. What? You don't care? You still wanted the limited character? Well, go back to 12 hours of grinding for a single wish then. Let's discuss the rules before we begin. 1. I can only use Qiqi. Wow, what a shocker there! 2. Any sword is allowed. And 3. I'm only allowed to use other characters if it's absolutely necessary for progress. For example, using their element to activate a totem. To start this challenge, we need to get Qiqi on an account. Let me tell you, it was quite the experience. What? If it's not Qiqi, that's the biggest disrespect ever. I could have known! No, don't do this! Imagine if it's gonna be like D-Luke. Please! Why did I say that? Why? What the? If it's not gonna be Qiqi for another time. All of these 5 stars and even a double 5-star on a single account. 55 accounts later and only then did I get Qiqi. Getting banned on my only banned challenge took me just 1 try. I'd argue that the hardest thing was actually getting Qiqi. I want to forget about that, so let's jump right into the challenge. So we head straight into this temple. It's really simple, just a bunch of hilly trolls. I used Amber to blow up these barrels. That felt like cheating. So I exited the temple, came back and walked right into it with Qiqi. I used Amber to activate this thingy, and that was about it. We go to the next temple with Kaya. This one is also really easy, just hilly trolls again. I did use Kaya to do some ice bridging. That was it for this temple. Also, D-Luke is here and he's beating up this random abyss mage with really cute feet. Wait, what did I say? Lastly, we entered the temple with Lisa. There was this timer challenge that was a bit too stressful, not gonna lie. The boss is a hydro slime, but oh my gosh, Qiqi just deleted them. We exit the temple and immediately we have to grind. I did not miss this part. It's giving back flashbacks from the Only Bandit challenge. I did Kaya's story quest. It's an interesting one. Because for the entirety of this quest we go looking for a treasure. Except there is no treasure. So we beat up this ruin guard. This was such a funny fight. I don't know why, but we just took the fight down the stairs. After getting scammed, we moved to Amber's story quest. Now we go looking for a criminal. We beat up some treasure hoarders in the process. We moved to a temple and bombed some hilly trolls. I had to use Amber to get the hilly trolls above. Cause guys, what do you want Qiqi to do? We finally found our criminal and beat him and his goons. We move on to the Archon quest and finally do something useful. We meet Venti, fight the Eye of the Storm, and then we go steal the Holy Lyre. Only to get robbed ourselves. Robbing the robber is just rude. I swear there's so much drama in these quests. Obviously the robber isn't supposed to be robbed, so we go into this temple to get it back. We can play as D-Luke, but let's be honest, all we need is Qiqi. There was a few random enemies, the final boss is this 2 agent, and Qiqi, with her small height, was literally smacking him around. The next enemy to beat is the infamous Ruin Guard. It did take me a bit. I think they slapped on some defense artifacts on him, cause this dude is not taking any damage. It took me like 3 minutes. We enter yet another temple with slimes and hilly trolls. The boss in this place is a pyro abyss mage. Normally this would take a while, but since there's water around, I just pushed the stupid noob into it and I beat him quite easily. We collected all of Storm Terror's tears. Wow, bro really is in his emo phase. And repaired the Holy Lyre. And then it breaks again. So everything we did was pointless. It's our sibling. I'm sure we all forget that she was even in this game. We obviously cannot continue with the next act of an Archon quest without leveling up. So we move on to Zhongling's story quest. And I won't lie, this made me really hungry because it's all about food. We enter another temple to get some special meat. In it, there's the enemies we always encounter. Wait, Cloba. Pretend you didn't see that. However, a cryo Registine is in our way. Yeah, no way he's stopping me from getting my dinner. Next, I did my dailies, and you can't do your dailies without killing Timmy's ducks. It's finally time to actually do something useful, so we head to Dvalin's lair. On the way, we fight the Hydromate and the Meat Troll. I don't know why I didn't do this before with the Only Bandit challenge. I just skipped the rest of the monsters on the way. We also fight some other randos when we break the seals. Before we enter the fight, I upgraded Qiqi's artifacts. They are actually pretty good for what we have at our level. She actually has more crit rate than characters on my main account. First we snipe him with the Traveler, and now it's really time for the fight that will decide the fate of Mondstadt. With Bennett we were able to two-face Dwalin. However, Qiqi is a completely different character. I expect this is going to be actually hard, so I took Dwalin down and... oh my god. What is going on? She's actually doing it! Qiqi, who hurt you? It's a crime that minuscule amount of HP was left. Somehow Qiqi outperformed Bennett and one-faced... yes, I'm calling this one-faced Dwalin. Every time I do this battle, it gets more anticlimactic. Mondstadt is saved, we get mugged. Diluc should have just thrown Qiqi at Dwalin. It would have saved us so much time. To get to Liyue, we need to earn XP. So next up is Diluc's story quest, which is about the Dark Knight hero who saves Mondstadt at night, I guess. We get some really important information in this quest. Basically, Donna is a Diluc simp, but ever since the Dark Knight hero saved her, she became a Dark Knight hero simp. But Diluc is the Dark Knight hero, so she's still a Diluc simp, but she doesn't know. Anyway, before I unravel the secrets of the universe, we must go on with the quest. We enter a dungeon with just the usual enemies. The final boss is a Hydro Mage. Since we were able to freeze him, this fight went quite smoothly. We fight some more slimes with the most annoying shields imaginable. The last fight we have is with the Cryo Mage and a bunch of Helitrolls. Cryo Mage with Qiqi is the equivalent of the Pyro Mage with Bennett. While still annoying, the Cryo Mage doesn't appear nearly as much as the Pyro Mage. We continue with Razor's story quest, where Razor saves us from a bunch of slimes. Honestly, he should have just let us die. That's a skill issue if I've ever seen one. The big fight in this quest is with Boreas. As you all know, he is immune to cryo, so it's just gonna be physical attacks. Honestly, Qiqi still did really well. The only thing was that he moves around a lot. Thankfully, we only need to take him down to half his health. In Lisa's story quest, we enter a temple yet again. The only worrying part was that there was a timer challenge with both cryo and hydro slimes. I was able to manage though. The final boss is a cryo abyss mage. Once its shield was gone, Qiqi just murdered him. The adventures in Mondstadt have been fun. Now it's time to go to Liyue to look for our sis. Get involved in their politics! Basically, their boss is dead, we get blamed for it, we meet a potential serial killer, we need to get help from a bird. What is going on? I need to level up again, but... huh? What is that? Look behind you! It's Zhongli! Whoa, we're actually adventure rank 25. How did that happen? We have to level up Qiqi. That means fighting the Cryo Regisvine. This is the same thing like Bennett and the Pyro Regisvine. I have not missed this. We do some shopping with our granddad, and now we run some Helitrolls as soup. We finally meet the homie, my bro, my G, Madam Ping. She immediately sends us into her teapot to do some free labor for her. We only fight slimes in there, it was pretty easy. We head to Boo Boo Pharmacy where we meet an imposter. The next fight we have is with the treasure hoarders. After we head back to the imposter, we meet a Ningguang simp and have some dinner with Zhongli. That's pretty much it for Act 2 of Liyue's Archon quest. Before we continue on, we must do the Ascension quest. In a single room, there's a Meat Troll with a shield and a rune guard. The most annoying thing was the Meat Troll's shield, but I ran around a lot and slowly chipped away at their health, and eventually I was able to manage. Now I know what you're thinking. The Traveler is in your party, you cheater. It looks pretty bad, I know, but I had to use Animo for something and just forgot he was in the party. See, when I do these challenges, my mind is on autopilot, because I have to skip hours of dialogue. Guys, he's level 5, he's not gonna be able to do anything anyway. Just to be safe, I'll show you the whole fight. Next victims were the Helitrolls and the Fatui agent. In a single room, there's a Cryo and Hydro Mage. This combination is deadly because they can just freeze you. The Hydro Mage was easily dealt with because of Qiqi's skill, and beating the Cryo Mage was just a matter of whacking him 1,000 times. The final boss was the Electro Hypostasis. I'm just gonna let the video do the talking. Qiqi absolutely destroyed him. She shouldn't be this powerful, it just feels wrong. So we beat the Ascension quest with Traveler as our emotional support. We can finally continue on with the last act. We have to stop Child. Who would have thought he was going to be our enemy? Qiqi just murdered the Electro-Hypostasis a minute ago, so I imagine her bloodthirst has already been quenched. I'm wondering how this fight's gonna go. Oh my gosh. She's doing so much damage. His HP is already at half. Oh my god, Qiqi, give him a chance to fight back. Phase 1 was easy. Phase 2... I don't think this is fair for him. Even the last phase was so easy. I swear, Qiqi is a beast. No one should fear the Fatui, they should just fear her. Backed into a corner, Child summons Osial. Normally this would have been very worrying. However, I think at this point, we all know that no one stands a chance against Qiqi. In the middle of the fight, my noodles were ready, so I was heavily contemplating just teleporting away. But I decided against it and just finished the fight. So we take on the Fatui. Our friends did give us special powers, but let's be honest, were they really necessary? Qiqi would have just carried us to victory. Just like that, Liyue has been saved. And oh my goodness, Zhongli just hands over the Gnosis. Why do we even bother with these people? Guys, I found our sister! Oh, it's just Dainsteve. See, I absolutely hate Dainsteve's quest, cause it feels so long, and every enemy in this quest has some sort of shield. So hear me out. We first enter a temple with a few Hilichurls, and a Pyro and Hydro Mage. Then we fight a Pyro Mage. Then we fight a Cryo Mage. Then we fight a Hydro Mage. Then we fight a Hydro Mage and 2 Meter Trolls with shields. Then we enter some ruins where someone's dead. Skill issue, to be honest. Then we fight an Abyss Herald without a shield, thankfully. Then we fight a Hydro and Cryo Mage. Then we fight a Hydro and Cryo Mage and a Ruin Hunter. Then we fight a Pyro and Cryo Mage and a Ruin Guard. Then we fight a Pyro Mage. Then we fight an Abyss Herald and now bro has his shield. Then we get attacked by bells. Then we fight the Abyss Herald again. There was a Hydro and Pyro Mage, but I ignored them. To make things worse, our sister just ghosts us, as if I haven't suffered enough emotional damage. But we've done it. We've survived this quest. Next quest we're gonna do is Xingqiu's. Now that I think about it, can I go back to Dainsteve's quest? I have no idea how many times I've played this quest. Every time I have no idea what's going on. We fight some treasure hoarders. I wanted to continue on, but I couldn't since Zhu is in another quest. First of all, who the hell is Zhu? To be honest, I just forgot about this quest and went on with Shenhe's story quest. We enter Sea Gazer about. At first the quest isn't too bad, just Hilichurl slimes and cores we have to destroy. The problem arose when the game spawned in a whole lava churl. As you can see, the damage I do is so small. See, I am partly to blame as well. I hadn't ascended Qiqi yet, because I was too lazy to fight the Cryo Registine again. After 2.5 minutes, I beat it. Next were even more Meter Trolls and slimes, which weren't really bad. The game then spawned in this dude! He takes little damage, but thankfully I was able to freeze him. However, everything came crashing down when the game spawned in 2 Ruin Guards. I was barely able to do any damage. On top of that, when I was attacking one, the other one attacked me. I was able to freeze them both at times, but as we all know, Qiqi's skill has a long cooldown, one who is close to rivaling Child's. I had to move around a lot. I didn't have much time to attack either, and I'm not joking, it took me 7.5 minutes to beat just 2 of them. To blow off some steam, we get to beat up someone's wife. Wait, that actually sounds really wrong. This is Osial's, the other big water dragon monster's wife. I did not want to say it, they look more like cousins. Beating up his wife was quite easy actually. I could have done it in like a minute, but the heads just keep going back into the water. But hey, at least we really saved Liyue this time. I think. I don't know, maybe their child is gonna show up next. I looked at the chasm quest and I got jump scared. So we move on to Inazuma. We can't just enter Inazuma though. See, the Raiden Shogun basically pulled a Kim Jong-un, and you cannot just randomly waltz in there. So we have to go there with the help of Beidou. First we enter a tournament because I actually don't know why. But look at just how much damage my level 5 Traveler is doing. We've also met Kazuha on the way. We learn he's a criminal, not because the Inazuman government is after him, but because he stole the heart of all of his Sims. What I've noticed with the quest of Liyue and Inazuma is that they've increased dialogue by 1,000. I'll have to skip parts of the story, so let's pretend you know why I'm escorting this random balloon. We fight some treasure hoarders. After, we meet Yai Miko, Ayaka, and Yoimiya. We're actually entering the police detention center to bust someone out of jail. Now this is the action and drama I'm looking for. The enemies we fight within are basically the Japanese Millilith. Sara catches us, and she just lets us go. From what we know, the people of Inazuma are in great peril. So instead of helping them, let's go and hang out with Ayaka and Yoimiya first. It's nothing personal, guys. The game forces me to do these first. There are like 2 fights in all of these quests, and they really aren't worth mentioning. But you guys, remember Singshou's story quest? Yeah, me neither. So I finished that up quickly, and we finally meet Zu. Zu, this is all because of you! Toma's vision is gonna get taken away by the Raiden Shogun. But more importantly, she looked really cool doing it. One of the reasons I started playing this game was this scene. So thank you, Raiden Shogun, for almost robbing Toma. And oh my god, we're already fighting the final boss. I'm a brave person, so I started running away basically the whole fight. Maybe I'm saying this because Qiqi has absolutely wrecked everything on her way, but I think I would be able to beat her. Until she started using hacks. We somehow escaped that predicament. We fight some more soldiers, meet up with Teppei, who's totally gonna live. We fight even more soldiers. Can we just appreciate how Qiqi destroyed them? Now we're in an all-out war against the Shogun's army. Guys, can we just talk it out, guys? We made the noobs retreat. Just like that, we move on to the final act. I used Lisa to activate these totems. That spawned in this dude. We fought him. We met Teppei again. I think there's something wrong with him. He's even worse now. We gotta get revenge for the homie. Into the delusion factory we go. The enemies in here are just Fatui agents. Their shield is always annoying, but thankfully we always manage. The final boss is the Mirror Maiden, which was quite easy to be honest. I think a random Mirror Maiden you encounter has more HP than this one. I finish off the last agent. I've barely even done anything to his shield. That's it for the fights. Oh look, it's Hat Guy. I forgot he was still evil. Thankfully Miko saved us. Now we're gonna put ourselves in even more danger by confronting the Shogun. But first, the thing I think most people would argue is the hardest thing in Genshin Impact, which is the anti-Raiden Shogun training. With the power of Qiqi we always manage. Look at Miko just standing there. She looks like the emoji. We confront the Tenryou Commission first, since they've betrayed the Shogun. There were like 5 enemies attacking me at once. It's finally time to face the real deal. And oh my god, Sara, what have they done to you? We must fight Signora first. This fight, much like the other bosses, was no trouble at all. The only thing I had to worry about was not freezing or burning. I just want to say, the lowest my HP has dropped in this fight was like 9,900 something. That just shows you the difficulty. There goes Signora. Can we just have a minute of silence for all her simps? That's enough, time to save Inazuma. Oh my goodness, she's hacking again. I sincerely believe I would have been able to defeat her like this if she didn't block us from using our skill. This is like 1/4 of her HP gone. Don't worry you guys, the power of friendship helps us to save the day. But I didn't even need it. I want an actual one-on-one. Who cares, I guess Inazuma has been saved. We haven't found our sister, will we? Probably not. Is Qiqi all you need? Yes. We can safely conclude that losing your 50-50 to her is not a waste. Sumeru, I'll leave for the next part, because there's just so much dialogue in there. I just want to say though, have any of you noticed that throughout this whole video, Qiqi's HP has not even dropped to yellow? With Bennett I had many near-death experiences. I haven't even died with Qiqi. Wait, that's actually a lie. It was off camera when I was grinding, but I died 4 times, but they were all from fall damage. 2 times a monster threw me off a cliff. The other 2 times I had an extreme skill issue and didn't even press the plunge button. Like and subscribe, or else nothing's gonna happen. I'll probably cry though.